Today, our topic is what the Stoics thought about politics. The Stoics were ancient philosophers who believed in living a life of virtue, wisdom, and self-control. They thought deeply about how people should live together in society and what role politics should play in our lives. For the Stoics, politics was not just about power or ruling over others. It was about doing what is right, helping others, and creating a just society. They believe that every person has a duty to contribute to the common good, not just for themselves, but for everyone around them. The Stoics taught that politics should be guided by reason and virtue, not by emotions like anger, greed, or fear. They believe that a good leader is someone who acts with fairness, kindness, and wisdom, always thinking about what is best for the people they serve. One of the most famous Stoic philosophers, Marcus Aurelius, was also a Roman emperor. He is a great example of how Stoicism can be applied to politics. Even though he had great power, he did not let it corrupt him. Instead, he used his position to try to make the world a better place. He believed that his role as a leader was to serve others, not to enrich himself or gain more power. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his personal journal, which we now call Meditations, that a leader must always remember their duty to the people. He said that power is a responsibility, not a privilege. This idea is very different from how many people think about politics today. Many people see politics as a way to gain fame, money, or control. But the Stoics believed that true success in politics comes from doing what is right, even when it is difficult. Another important Stoic philosopher, Seneca, also wrote about politics. He was a teacher and advisor to the Roman Emperor Nero. Seneca believed that politics should be about serving the public good, not about personal gain. He warned against the dangers of greed and corruption in politics. He said that leaders who are driven by selfish desires will only bring harm to their people. Seneca believed that a good leader must be guided by reason and virtue. They must be able to control their emotions and make decisions based on what is best for everyone, not just for themselves. He also believed that it is important for leaders to be humble and to remember that they are not above the law. No one, not even a ruler, is perfect, and everyone must strive to improve themselves and do better. The Stoics also believed that every person, no matter their position in society, has a role to play in creating a just and fair world. They thought that even ordinary people have a duty to participate in politics and to help make their community better. This does not mean that everyone needs to be a leader or hold a high position in government. It means that everyone should try to live a life of virtue and to help others whenever they can. The Stoics believe that small acts of kindness and justice can make a big difference in the world. They taught that we should not wait for someone else to solve problems or make changes. Instead, we should take responsibility for our own actions and do what we can to make the world a better place. One of the key ideas in Stoicism is that we cannot control everything that happens in the world, but we can control how we respond to it. This is especially important in politics. There will always be challenges and difficulties, but the Stoics believed that we should face them with courage and wisdom. They believed that we should not let fear or anger guide our decisions. Instead, we should use reason and logic to find the best solution to problems. The Stoics also believed that we should accept the things we cannot change and focus on what we can do to make a difference. This does not mean that we should give up or stop trying. It means that we should be realistic about what we can achieve and not waste our energy on things that are beyond our control. The Stoics also had a unique perspective on the idea of power. They believed that true power does not come from controlling others or having a high position. True power comes from controlling oneself and living a life of virtue. They believe that a person who is wise, just, and self-disciplined is truly powerful, even if they do not have a lot of money or influence. This is an important lesson for anyone involved in politics. It is easy to get caught up in the desire for power and fame, but the Stoics remind us that these things are not what really matter. What matters is how we live our lives and how we treat others. A leader who is guided by virtue and wisdom will have a much greater impact on the world than one who is driven by selfish desires. The Stoics also believed in the importance of equality and fairness. They thought that all people are equal in the eyes of reason, and that everyone deserves to be treated with respect and dignity. This idea was very advanced for their time, when many societies were deeply divided by class, wealth, and power. The Stoics believed that a just society is one where everyone has the opportunity to live a good life, regardless of their background or status. They believed that leaders have a duty to protect the rights of all people and to ensure that everyone is treated fairly. This is a lesson that is still very relevant today. In many parts of the world, there are still great inequalities and injustices. The Stoics remind us that it is the responsibility of leaders and citizens alike to work towards a more just and equal society. Another important lesson from the Stoics is the idea of living in harmony with nature. They believe that everything in the world is connected, and that we should strive to live in balance with the natural world. This idea can also be applied to politics. The Stoics believe that a good society is one that is in harmony with nature and that respects the environment. They believe that leaders should make decisions that are sustainable and that protect the planet for future generations. This is another lesson that is very relevant today as we face many environmental challenges. The Stoics remind us that we have a responsibility to take care of the earth and to make sure that our actions do not harm the environment. Finally, the Stoics believed in the importance of humility and self-reflection. They believed that no one is perfect and that everyone makes mistakes. They taught that it is important to learn from our mistakes and to constantly strive to improve ourselves. This is especially important for leaders. A good leader must be willing to admit when they are wrong and to learn from their failures. They must also be open to feedback and willing to listen to others. The Stoics believe that only by being humble and reflective can we become better people and better leaders. In conclusion, the Stoics had a lot of important things to say about politics. They believed that politics should be guided by reason, virtue, and a sense of duty to the common good. They believed that leaders should be humble, fair, and just, and that they should always strive to do what is best for the people they serve. They also believed that everyone, not just leaders, has a role to play in creating a just and fair society. The Stoics remind us that true power comes from living a life of virtue and that we should focus on what we can control, rather than worrying about things that are beyond our control. They also remind us of the importance of equality, fairness, and living in harmony with nature. These are lessons that are still very relevant today, and they can help guide us as we navigate the challenges of politics and life.